I suppose I have to say, before really starting this podcast, that it probably isn't the new wave of British heavy metal. Some may say, though, that it is. It's a movable feast, but it shouldn't be, or should it? I don't know, I'm not going to get involved in those kind of arguments. All I know is that this album from 1985 presaged a fantastic band, and it's kind of been overlooked. Now, I remember I loved the band at the time, and I still have the album. It's called Black and White. The album's called Terraplane. No, the band are called Terraplane. The album's called Black and White. That'll be it, Steve. That's it. You've got it right now, finally. And, of course, the band morphed into Thunder, because you've got Bose, Danny, and you've got Morley, Luke, and they released 2 albums, Black and White and Moving Target, I think, if I remember rightly. Second album, I've only heard a couple of times. I didn't have it. It's soulier, I suppose you could say. But this album is just fantastic. You've got Nick Linden on bass, Harry James on drums. So you have got the basis of Thunder there, and then you've got Rudy Riviere arriving just in time to put some licks down for this particular album. The album itself, it's just fabulous. I mean, they would come back in '89 to give us Backstreet Simply, but this has got some of those choruses that either I've played. I mean, I haven't played Black and White for many, many years. I haven't thought about Black and White. Well, no, I have thought about Terraplane, but I've not played it for many, many years, this album. And I don't know whether or not this has been reworked to the Thunder song and I've missed it, or there are several of those kind of songs on this album where I hear the chorus and think, oh, it's that. I mean, I don't know whether or not I Survive. Is that a Thunder song? I suppose I need to check this, actually. I don't think it is. So, I survive long enough to stay alive. I mean, obviously he's got a better voice than that. I do have a cold at the moment, but of course I'm playing Teddy Bose's league. But those kind of choruses, after all this time, I make their acquaintance again and think, oh my God, yes! That rings a fantastic bell, and what a chorus. That's what great choruses do for you, and there are so many. Don't Walk Away sounds a bit new wave Top of the Pops. That kind of, punk and new wave are dangerous. Let us pop them up a bit, bring them on TOTP, it won't be as frightening, and we can make money out of it. That's what it sounds like. It has a sort of tautness. It's thinner. It's great, actually. Big glammy chorus, though. And When Your Heart Follows It, which is easy, poppy, 80s stuff, brief, exciting solo from either Rudy or from Mr. Morley. It's beautiful. I love I Can't Live Without Your Love, which has a kind of scratching centre, but it's not really the kind of scratching you'd expect a band like Run DMC at the time to do. It's almost as if they'd just sort of given us a fuzzy sample of something. It's like they're rubbing on Velcro. It's a bit weird, but the twinkling poppy feel of this, just great. Talking to Myself is another one of those choruses where I think, oh yeah, great to make your acquaintance again. It's beautiful. Black and White has a bit of scar in the chorus. You see, even in these days, they were giving us something where you think that shouldn't work, but it does, because you just give it to us and you're really good at it. The chorus rampages about in this, elbowing everybody else out of the way to say, look, this is important. and it is. Couldn't handle the tears. I mean, it's got some nice strings and the vocal, and that is half the song. But then the band kick in, which makes me think, okay, I know where this is going, until you get big female soulful backing vocals, big band working with them. It's beautiful. I can't understand why this wasn't a massive success. I do remember Kerrang at the time ballyhooing this, and quite rightly too. And Tough Kind of Love has got some rock banging in the chorus, but it's a lovely, voice and piano verse. It prepares for that huge rock banging. Beautifully done. It's very poppy in places, because of course rock was quite poppy at the time, but it keeps those rock chops going. It manages it beautifully, but of course it does. This is Proto Thunder, and we know how good they were, and we know how good they are, and we know how good they're going to be in the future. Ta-ta.